My name is Carolyn, and I talk to the spirit world. Travel with me to a dimension filled with love, light, and joyful surprises. Welcome to Carolyn's Psychic Playroom. Hi everybody, it's Carolyn Wilkins and I welcome you to the January edition of Carolyn's Psychic Playroom. I hope that you all had a wonderful holiday season, whatever holiday you celebrated, and I hope you had a fabulous new year as well. We have a ton of energy to bring the new year in. It's, of course, New Year's. We come with all the excitement of new plans, new things we want to do, new things to get excited about, and to boost this in the end of January, actually on the 20th of January, we will have a lunar eclipse. Now, when I looked this up on Google, they actually described this as a wolf supermoon lunar eclipse. It sounds pretty intense, right? And what I could tell about eclipses in general, and I'm no astrologer, but from my own personal experience, the energy of the eclipse tends to boost whatever we have going on in our lives at the moment. So whatever resolutions you've made, whatever plans you've made, whatever things you are looking forward to and want to bring into being for the new year, this eclipse is a good time to go and meditate. It's supposed to happen at around 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. If you can, get outside, take a look. The moon, they call it supermoon because the moon is going to be bigger than it normally is. And it's going to be blood red. I mean, come on now. It's going to be a big event, and you can use the energy of the moon and of what is happening in the heavens to boost your own resolution, your own creativity, and your own awareness of a connection to the flow. So, blood red super moon eclipse, the 20th of January, 10:30 p.m. there. It's going to rock. So, having said that, I have some very wonderful questions to answer today that people have written into the Psychic Playroom, so we're going to do that in a little bit. But first, I'd like to share with you a lovely interview that I taped earlier with a fabulous medium. Her name is Lindsay Marino, and I think you are just going to love her. Like myself, Lindsay is a former teacher, so she's excellent at explaining things. She's great at teaching. She has a warm and wonderful personality. And we visited a little bit on the whole concept of mediumship, how she got started in it, and what is involved. So take a look. Hi, everybody. This is Carolyn Wilkins, and I'm here in the Psychic Playroom talking with my good friend Lindsay Marino, and she is a medium and a teacher, and she's also a psychic and just an all-around awesome human. I wanted to talk to her a little bit and share her with you so that you can find out about her. So hi, Lindsay, and welcome
Hi,
Playroom.
Carolyn. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, bless your heart. Well, I'm so glad you could join us. So I always ask my guests, the first question I always ask them is, how did you know that you were a psychic? Have you always known, or was it something that you came by later on in life?
That's a great question. So I'm going to sum it up in a quick story, but since I was little, I was extra sensitive to people around me. So I would always feel everyone else's emotions. At the time, I didn't realize I was doing that though. And I used to have a lot of outer body experiences as a child. I was very shy, so I was always caught on the swings by myself, and I was always thinking. And then later in life, I actually went to college at University of Tampa, and I went to go study to be a teacher. So I got my undergraduate degree there, my master's to be a teacher. And I taught third grade for 7 years, but it wasn't until 2007 that I started to uncover this ability. And I'm someone that's Catholic, so I used to think it was a sin to even go to a psychic, didn't know what a medium was. But someone that I had planned on marrying at the time, his name's Nick, he passed away in a motorcycle accident. And after that, I saw him at the foot of my bed, and I started to have experiences and visitations from him, and that's where it all started.
Wow, what a great story. And I'm so glad you brought up that thing about the religious piece, because I think there are a lot of people out there that there have been so many sort of sensationalist things on TV and in the media, and scary things around the whole idea of mediumship, and people get it all mixed up with vampires and dead things and all that. And there are a whole lot of misconceptions about what a medium is, what a medium does, and the kind of work we do. And you, as a medium, and now out working and performing, could you just talk a little bit about that, your own mediumship? Where do you mostly do your work?
Yes, so that's a great question. I do a lot online. So when people book, private readings, we can talk on video or on the phone. And I'm from Massachusetts, so I'm always home doing readings there and in Tampa, Florida. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world, because readings, you don't have to separate energy by time or space. So it doesn't matter where you are. You don't have to be in person, which is amazing.
Isn't that wonderful? I just love that. And
Yeah.
I think it always feels to me when I'm doing these kind of readings, it's almost like living proof that we are more than we appear. Because sure enough, as you say, someone can be in Australia and you do a reading for them, and somehow your soul finds their soul, and a connection is made beyond time and beyond space. So that is way cool.
I know, I love it.
Oh, it's beautiful. So recently, you've been on a little tour, right? Doing some demonstrations around the country. Can you tell us a little bit about what it's like to get up on a stage and talk to dead people in front of the audience?
Sure. So at first I was more comfortable talking in front of third grade students. So I was not used to talking in front of adults, but I kind of got thrown into this in the way that it was very spirit-led. So when I'm up there doing a group reading, I see the audience in front of me, but I never know who I'm going to connect with. I just listen to the past loved ones that are coming through. So I may get information from one person that's a past loved one, and I deliver the messages to the audience, and I have to figure out where am I being led in the audience to give those messages. So it's pretty interesting, because by the end of the event, you think, did it already go by? It happens so quick when you're up there.
Fun. It's so fun. I have to say, when I've had that experience, it's been the most joyful. I think this is one of the many misconceptions that people may have about mediumship in general, is that it's creepy, or it's scary, or that it's ghoulish, or you're talking to dead people, so it's going to be really sad.
Yes.
But in fact, the spirit world is quite a joyful place, and when we have the privilege of connecting with it, it's really a lot of fun.
It is, it's so beautiful. They give memories and just a lot of healing that takes place. Even if you don't receive a reading and you're sitting in the audience, you can feel that love and the presence of the spirit world, which is so beautiful. And they're alive and well and want us to know that they want us to live happily too, because they're okay.
Yeah, that is it in a nutshell. So that brings me to my next question that I want to ask you about. You mentioned that in your pre-mediumship life, you were a teacher, and
Right.
now I understand that you are again a teacher, but now you are teaching people how to become mediums themselves. So this is something maybe a lot of people might say, well, how could you even teach such a thing? Either you have the gift or you don't, right? So could you talk just a little bit about what you do in your classes?
Sure. So I do have a mediumship class, and I started to uncover this thought that I believe that there's moments in our life where we want to learn different things. Like maybe we want to play the piano, and some people are born with that ear for music. It's very natural for them. And then other times there are moments in our life where we want to pick up the piano when we're in our adult years. And we might have to practice a little bit more and figure out the right techniques, but it's that time and energy put into it. And that's what I believe when it comes to mediumship, that if you're in a safe place to practice, meaning you feel comfortable while you're practicing, you're going to automatically excel in receive messages. And it's surprising to some people because they don't even know that they can do this, but it's just tapping into a frequency away. So if we can connect to our own past loved ones, why not be able to connect with other people's past loved ones to get messages and signs?
Oh my gosh, that is so true and so beautifully said. So, Psychic Playground peeps, I want you guys to know that if you're interested in learning how to actually do mediumship yourself, Lindsay is a great resource. I believe you have a couple of classes online. Is that
Yes. Yes, I have an intuition and a mediumship and in business class too.
nice? So you don't have to be in Tampa to
Right.
study with her. And how can you spell your name for the people so that
Sure.
people can Google you? As you know, we're not allowed to directly promote things, but yet I do want the audience to know about you. So spell your name so they can Google you if they want to.
Perfect. So my name's Lindsay and Marino, Marino, like Dan Marino. I'm just not related to him.
Nor are you a football person, right?
No, I'm a fan, but not a player.
That is so funny. Well, I have been honored to have you here, Lindsay, and I've really enjoyed our conversation. And just one last, because we've got about 2 minutes left.
Yes.
I know that you also have some really nice, they're not quite tarot cards, but they're kind of spiritual cards that a person can meditate on to connect with their loved ones. Could you just very quickly talk about that?
Sure, and thank you so much. I love being here too, Carolyn. I have a deck. It's the Unlock Your Connection. It's a deck, and it's Oracle cards, 55 card deck for healing messages. So if you've lost a loved one and you're thinking of them in the morning, or you just want that moment, you feel that feeling of, I just want to pull a card and see where it leads me. I feel like this is one of those decks, and I've had a lot of stories come in through emails and messages of how it's helped them through the process of grief and just really waking up in the morning and having a message to look at.
That is so beautiful. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Please investigate into Lindsay Marino, and she does readings, she teaches, she's got this great card deck, and as you can see, she's just a lovely, fabulous person, and it has been my honor to share these little few minutes with Lindsay here in the Psychic Playroom. So thank you for stopping by, Lindsay.
Thank you, Carolyn. I love being with you.
So wasn't that fun? Isn't she the best? So once again, you can Google Lindsay, Lindsay, Marino, Marino, and you will be able to find out all about her on Google, because she actually has a lot of stuff there. So anyway, now we move on. I hope you enjoyed the interview. And as always, if you have questions about any of my guests, or you would like to know more direct way to get in touch with them, you can always email me at psychicplayroom@gmail.com. psychicplayroom@gmail.com. Okay. We are now going to start answering some questions. So I had two very deep questions, and they both, interestingly enough, pertain to previous readings that I had given these people. And what they are looking for is a little bit of clarification. So the first one comes from AB, and AB would like me to elaborate on an earlier reading that I mentioned in terms of him meeting a partner or possible partner. And the card that I pulled was the Queen of Roses, which is, of course, a fabulous card if you're looking for a partner and you're looking for love. And now he's asking me for more information about that. So the first thing I want to say about any reading is that readings are very time specific. The reading that I give you pertains to you and the energy of you here and now, right now in this minute. If I pull a card for you, say 2 or 3 days later, the result might be, excuse me one sec, the result might be completely different because we're constantly changing. Think about it. We're changing. The world around us is changing. The people that we're interested in or that might be involved in making this reading happen are also changing. So there's always going to be an element of change. So I just want to warn you, AB, that when I read about your possible partnership connection, this is a reading of you right here, right now. So I'm going to pull my trusty Akashic Records card deck, which I have, there it is, shown you many times. It's a beautiful deck with lovely pictures, and I'm going to shuffle it right here on the desk so that you can see. And let me see here. I'll give it one more couple of shuffles here. I'll spread them out and mix them around a little. And now the question I'm asking is, what does AB need to know? And particularly, he was asking about the timing of meeting this person. So what does AB need to know? And the card that I have pulled is Archangel Raphael. This says to me that there is going to be a healing coming for you, AB, and that this is something that will be healed, that will help you to facilitate this relationship that you're trying to bring. If you can see in the picture, Archangel Raphael is holding this beautiful green disc. He's in a beautiful forest in the summertime. It feels to me, as I kind of read on it psychically a little bit, it feels to me like a verdant, powerful time, a time of fertility. he actually is looking kind of vibrant and alive. He doesn't look that ethereal to me. He looks pretty solid and in the earth. And I'm saying I'm feeling late spring and summer with this card, to be specific. I think that there is some healing that is going to come first in order for you to be ready to really meet this person. I feel this is psychic now, but I do feel that you have been hurt in the past and that you're a little guarded about your relationships with people. You're not always that forthcoming, and you're not always that easy to get to know. And therefore, sometimes you put people off. You don't mean to, but sometimes you do. And I feel that there's going to be a healing coming for you, and that healing, once it comes in by the summer, the late spring, the summer, maybe May, June, I feel like there's going to be a new change and a new direction in your life, and that all of these things are going to come together to help you bring into your life the person that you are hoping to meet. So AB, I hope this is helpful, and yep, I'm gonna move on. So the next question also pertains to someone for whom I did a previous reading. This is for RC, and this is a very deep question. And basically, the gist of the question is that RC is asking, what about when we receive a message, either a mediumship message or a psychic message, and it pertains to a loved one or friend, and that loved one or friend is kind of a bit of a skeptic. They're not going to accept the message, even though we know that it is true for them. They are not going to accept the truth of the message because it has come from a psychic conduit, and they're a little skeptical. And in fact, it's going to put them off, right? How can we bring the healing, the message of healing to them in a way that will not put them off? I have a couple thoughts about that, and I think I'm not going to go to the cards. I think I'm going to just speak more psychically. My feeling is a couple of things. Everyone comes into the world with a certain amount of karma. They come with a certain attitude, a certain list almost that they are given, that their soul is given. You're going to learn in this lifetime this, and this, and you are going to experience things that are going to give you the opportunity to grow spiritually. Each one of us has that, and we almost have our to-do list from God about what it is we need to learn from our experiences. And sometimes when a person is really dug in and not able to move forward, it's because they've hit a particular block or a particular situation, and they are not actually able at this point to absorb more or learn more at this time. And sometimes people who are really, really allergic to any kind of spiritual conversation, there's a reason. It's that they're just maybe not quite ready. So my best advice to you is to hold the message that you received, take the healing that it brings you, and walk your truth. Walk the message of truth that you know to be true. Walk the healing that you received as a result of your card reading that you had with me. And as you model that, don't be surprised if perhaps he gets a little curious. Perhaps he gets a little bit, I wonder why she's looking so good. I wonder why she's at peace with this and I'm not. And who knows, perhaps he will even ask you about it. And you might be able to find a tactful way to bring the message that you received. So I hope this is helpful. I hope that you have enjoyed your time here with me in the Psychic Playroom. I'm going to sign off now. I'm wishing you all the very, very, very best, and I will see you all in February. Meanwhile, be well.
Thoughts are things with the energy to make life better for you and for me. Touch the light.